Hello and welcome to the City Show. We're here at Harmon Museum, which is open and ready to receive you as their guest. And with me today is Michael Coyen, and I will run down all the exciting things that you have coming up for the month of October. I don't know how you do it. You got so many things going on. Later on in the show, we're going to check in with our Lebanon High School sports crew for a look at the fall sports season that almost didn't happen this year due to the coronavirus, but thank God it is happening. And we are warrior proud of our student athletes. I mean, what you kids have gone through, that's amazing. We're behind you. Mike, we are surrounded today with an impressive array of bronze sculptures, and they are beautiful. Whose work is this, and can you tell us more about it?
This is the work of a Lebanon resident, Linda Sappington.
Yeah.
And I found out she has a studio as well as a horse farm, the Dancing Horse Farm on Weisenberger Road. And she and her daughter are horse people. Her daughter's won numerous awards for dressage. And I was thinking in our last year, we had no bronze work. And I contacted Linda. She was very excited about having a show and agreed, even with the COVID problem we've got, to go ahead and mount the show, put it up. We didn't have an official opening, but the show runs through the 16th of October, and Linda brought these magnificent, wonderful sculptures in, and we placed them all around this gallery, which, by the way, the board has just named the Gary Simendinger Exhibition Gallery in honor of Gary Simendinger.
Yeah.
But Linda has been schooled in this art. She's done work for a number of private horse farms, and these sculptures done in bronze, and some are a maquette, which that one in the center of the case is yet to be cast. So you can see what the plaster models look like before the bronze has been literally placed in the cerce perdu, which is called the lost wax method of casting. Okay. It's incredibly difficult, and she is a master at it.
Where did you discover her?
It was simply by accident.
Okay.
I was at an event and someone said, "Do you know Linda Sappington? She does magnificent work."
Wow.
And so we just sort of made a connection, and I called her and introduced myself and said, "I would love to have your work." And she said, "Well, let's work something out," and it fit into her schedule and mine. Yeah. And it's very exciting to be able to bring this to the citizens of Lebanon.
Now, if people come down and discover they love bronze as well,
yes.
Where else can they see Linda's work? Because this is just a small portion of what she has?
It's a small portion, and most of this is relatively small. Linda does life-size commissions. Yeah. She's done work for Keeneland, for Churchill Downs, for the Kentucky Horse Park. And she knows almost every other sculptor in the United States who works in equestrian art.
Yeah.
We have some of her work for sale downstairs. She also does jewelry. So we've got some of her smaller horse bronzes and some bonded bronzes, which is a different process slightly, and some of her beautiful silver pins and pendants downstairs in the gift shop. Okay. So it's really a wonderful experience if you love horses.
I can't imagine the amount of work that it must go into doing a full-size horse as far as the...
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The largest bronze horse was designed by Leonardo da Vinci, and it wasn't cast until Frederick Meyer put the money up to literally have it cast just about 20 years ago. And there is one outside of the airport in Milan, and the other one is in the Meyer Garden in Grand Rapids. And if you can imagine a horse like that in that material, 2 stories high. Wow. That's amazing.
That's incredible. and that is just spectacular.
Her work is captivating. It really is. Yeah. I was looking at the title here. But it does. It engages you. She catches the spirit of the animal.
Yeah, she does. I like the one over your right shoulder called Frolic. Mm-hmm. It's just a happy horse.
It is. Yeah. Absolutely.
And how long will her display be here?
This show will go through the 16th of October. We won't take it down until, of course, after that day closes.
Okay.
And then, of course, we keep Linda's cards so that if you are interested in allowing her to perhaps sculpt your horse, if you would like that. She works with commission, and then also if you would like to pursue buying one of these, we make sure our patrons can get in touch with her.
You're looking for a special gift for someone who's into equestrians. I
Amazing.
mean, my goodness.
Amazing.
Yeah,
It's an amazing
yeah.
collection. It really is.
So what's next? After that, what do you have going on?
After that, on the 30th of October, running through mid-December, are the works, 135 of them, of the Cincinnati brush and palette painters. You frequently see the ladies. They were painting around Lebanon Station. They may be up on the hill at Glendower. They might be in Glendale painting. They have been together for a number of years. There are about, I think about 27 altogether of the ladies who work primarily in watercolor, but some work in acrylic and oil. They're going to bring their show up, and we're going to see sites from all over southwestern Ohio through their work. And amazingly, they're also going to provide us with what they call a tiny treasures area. If you want a Christmas gift and you want a small, affordable watercolor or painting, they're going to make those available too.
Oh, my goodness.
So
Yeah.
we'll have a little bit of a special little thing here going on for Christmas as well.
Come on down, do your Christmas shopping here.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's
And
fantastic.
the ladies are just incredible. Their work is, they do architecture,
Yeah.
they do landscape. It's just really amazing.
Now-
There's a favorite one of mine of the Lebanon train.
Okay.
Quite nice.
And any of those works for sale as well?
The works, the large-scale works will be for sale as well.
Okay,
So
okay.
the museum always makes sure that whatever we're exhibiting, if you like it,
Yeah.
you can contact the artist, you can purchase the work. Now, some obviously will have NFS on them,
Yeah.
not for sale,
Yeah.
but for the most part, the works will be available.
Now, how does that work? Does a museum get a portion of that to help their costs? Or?
All museums will retain about 20%
Oh,
of a
that's good,
sale,
yeah.
and that helps us keep the lights on
Yeah.
and do the advertising for the event. And any sort of, unfortunately now we can't do our famous opening night receptions, but we want to get back to doing those. We miss them desperately.
Yeah. Hey, another fun thing is the October Cemetery Tour.
Right.
Is that still on?
No, we're not doing the cemetery tours. Again, it's a problem with COVID-19
Yeah.
and staffing and so forth and so on. And what we are doing, however, is a ghost walk
Okay.
on the weekend of October 16 and
At the
17.
cemetery?
No,
Okay.
it will start here.
Because I'm shivering just thinking about that.
No.
Yeah, you'd have to hold my hand.
It'll
Scaredy cat.
It'll start here.
Okay.
We've got enough ghosts running
Yeah.
around this place. It'll start here and we'll wander over toward Glendower, and there's a fellow who's been doing ghost tours down in Glendale and that region, and it's sort of like a wonderful tale of ghost hauntings from all over southwestern Ohio, but we'll wind up at Glendower, and there's more information on that on our website
Okay.
as to where to meet and what time and so forth and so on.
I don't want to be a spoiler or anything, but are there historical figures that are long since passed and come out? And
Well, I don't know. I came in this building one morning and, our first director was the venerable Hazel Spencer Phillips.
of course.
And I was walking across the green to turn the lights on, and I said, "Good morning, Hazel." And I was the only one in the building, and a woman laughed.
Oh my gosh.
And there wasn't a woman on Broadway. There was no one in this building. But it was a very distinctive, and I knew Hazel, and that was Hazel's laugh.
Oh my goodness.
So she's still around,
Yeah.
looking after her collection.
Yeah. Hey, what about Lunch and Learns? Have you had to go virtual on that?
John and Nathan Grauelman, our marketing manager,
Yeah.
are going to be placing those on our website. So they will be virtual.
Okay.
You go to the website. If you are a member of the museum, you're given a certain number, and you can open that up and enjoy the Lunch and Learn.
Okay.
Both this month and next. Hopefully we'll get back on track maybe by January. The other thing is that you'll be able to ask questions, and then John or the presenter will answer them at the beginning of the next virtual Lunch and Learn, which is kind of a nice thing. So this month, of course, is Linda Sappington, and Linda's even going to do a demonstration of how she sculpts. In October, we have a collector of Halloween memorabilia.
Yeah.
So if you like things that go bump in the night and historic Halloween costume and all sorts of things associated with All Hallows Eve, you'll want to catch that Lunch and Learn in October.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Can you give us an update on the Beetle Station, the cabin?
Beetle Station Cabin, I'm happy to say, I'm thinking within the week we should have all contracts signed and we should be ready to start the foundation.
Nice.
We've had a number of experts looking at it. The cabin is and has been in very bad shape. So we have to make sure that when, it's sort of like that old game of pickup sticks.
Yeah.
You pull out one log and make sure the rest don't crumble.
Okay.
And then we have to find replacement logs in a couple of places because of the deterioration of the cabin. But we can tell you that we had dendrochronology done on the logs. The logs were saplings about that big around in the year of 1660.
Wow.
The trees were felled in 1794, so it is one of the beetle cabins.
My goodness.
There's absolutely no question about that now.
It sounds like that project's going to be years to complete.
No, honestly, I think we will have the cabin and perhaps the grounds ready by spring.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Spring of 2021 is what we're targeting.
What other special events do you have going on?
We have a number of things. One of the interesting things we've been doing in this downtime is really redoing the collections.
Okay.
We have a fellow he worked for the Boonshaft, he's done consulting work for the Smithsonian. We're completely redoing the Native American and archaeological collections. We're adding a 1950s, 1960s apartment downstairs.
Yeah.
So for those of you who like the nostalgia of mom and dad and aunt and uncle's house done in Bakelite and bright orange and lime greens, you'll have a real time warp there. We're working on the Armstrong Gallery of Flight, which will hopefully open January or February of 2021, which will provide a lot of interactive things for young people to do. You can land a moonlander. You can take a virtual flight over Warren County in a biplane, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
So all these kind of things are coming together. So while the world thinks, well, the museum is just sort of there, we're always here. And it's one of the things that, COVID has affected us regarding events because of the amount of people we can put into the buildings. But people must remember that the collections must be maintained at a certain temperature and a certain humidity.
Yeah.
And we can't turn the lights off and leave. It has to be maintained 24/7. We can't just shut down the systems to save money because the things that we have in our possession are literally the history of this county.
Yeah.
And we can't just sort of let them go without being attended.
You mentioned earlier that you had a little bit of help with the PPP type stuff. Are there other things going on?
We did have, we're going through the application process, seeking help from the city as well, and a number of other things. Okay. So we're looking at a broad support, and we have had broad support from our membership. Another thing that I did want to mention, Carol Tennyson has written yet another book, The Westerner. And this one, of course, again, is set in Glendower, and it's two people who fell in love during the Civil War, and it is with Major Lieutenant General James Madison Burns and the lovely Lebanon native Caroline Corwin Sage. And for that, the author is putting together a series of teas. So if you like an informal tea, it's not like the large teas we used to do on the green, and we'll commence those again at the beginning of the spring. But this is a small tea of no more than 20 people, appropriately distanced. The first one was on the lawn at Glendower. We won't do that in October or December, but we put one table in each room, and then the author walks between and does her presentation. But this is about the fourth or fifth book that Carol has written on Lebanon and Lebanon characters and reached into that wonderful history and done her interpretation. And of course, there's a connection here to Custer and the Little Bighorn as well. So it's a fascinating read.
We have some great history here, don't we?
It's amazing. Absolutely.
I think of this time and how virtual learning is so. It's out there, and it's all we got. And the parents who are struggling, is there a way that parents could connect on some of the learning things that you have here at the museum to help their kids?
We're working on that. It's a problem of the technological ability to grasp all of that so quickly. But all of those things are in works because we want people to be able to access. Now the good plus is we've had a lot of visitors in the museum. We require them to wear masks. per the Ohio Museum Association. But of course, a museum is a place where we don't encourage a lot of touching.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
But it's amazing how many people we've had come in and how many new members have
Nice.
joined the museum
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
time frame.
That is good.
We're also going to be doing some selfie stations. So if you want to have your photograph taken with the cows downstairs, you can do that. If you want to hold a pitchfork and stand in a frame to look like American Gothic, you can do that. You can take your selfie with Neil Armstrong fully suited out for the moon landing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or you can go upstairs and sit on a posing chair, put on a top hat, a fake beard, and a lady with a shawl, and you can be Abe and Mrs. Lincoln.
Oh, my
So if you
goodness.
would like to use the museum in a little different way for your own selfie, welcome. We'll have those set up in about 2 weeks.
Very creative. Is that you, or do you have somebody else who's bringing up these ideas?
Well, we've got a wonderful staff.
Yeah.
Jeannie Doan, who is the assistant director and exhibitions curator, has really outdone herself on a lot of these projects, working with Nathaniel Grauelman, who is our marketing manager and PR manager. And of course, John has his input, and we have a wonderful volunteer staff in the art department.
Yeah.
So we just sort of brainstorm and see how we can, you know, blow the dust out of things and look at things through a new window. And we want to make this place, as I've said before, we want to make it our museum, not the museum.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you haven't been down to Harmon Museum, you're missing out. Michael and his team do just such a great job. Thank you so much for keeping us informed on what's going on. Again, I want to encourage my friends to come on down, say hi to Michael and his team, and check this stuff out. Just one last question before we go. Would Linda be able to do like Hall of Fame bust of men? Because there are probably a lot of guys out there who are still trying to, you know, I bet that could be a market for her.
One doesn't, I've never asked Linda. She does do human figure,
Oh,
but,
my goodness.
you know, I think she loves horses better.
That's too much fun. Michael, thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you and welcome.
We'll be back with more of the City Show right after this break.
Break your fast food habit at Kelly's Meats and Deli at 1001 West Main Street in Lebanon. Stop in for a quick lunch featuring made-to-order sandwiches, tasty sides, and mouth-watering daily specials. For dinner, Kelly's offers fresh-cut steaks, chops, and seafood, plus a variety of prepared dishes that only need to be reheated. You'll also find a large selection of high-quality wine and beer that can make any meal a special event. Kelly's Meats and Deli open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, now open for dinner Saturdays 6 to 9 p.m. And remember, we cater too.
When it comes to healthcare, the most common question I get is, are you on our insurance? Well, we're probably not because we don't accept insurance, but our prices are extremely fair and you're going to get great care. So if your plan is to get great care, we are your plan. We offer chiropractic, fitness programs, massage, and clinical nutrition. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, call our office, schedule for a free consultation so we can discuss any question you have and get you well.
Call now to schedule your free initial consultation.
Since 1954, Hardee's Interiors has been providing quality furnishings for homes in and around Lebanon, Ohio. Today, you'll still find quality antique and vintage furniture along with new made-in-America furniture of all styles. At Hardee's, you can create a mix of furniture and accessories that truly reflects your personality, all made to last a lifetime. Designers are welcome and so are you. Hardee's Interiors at 208.5 Wright Avenue or online at hardeesinteriors.com.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to the City Show. Hey, the pandemic has really took a bite out of this fall sports season. Non-contact sports like volleyball, golf, and tennis, they got underway pretty good. Football had kind of an altered schedule, but we're happy that we're playing and we're out there. We're going to turn it over to our sports team and take a look at what's going on with sports in Lebanon.
Hi, I'm Tom Russell, and welcome to today's show. With me, we have the Lady Warrior golf team, and along with me today is Lady Warrior head coach Pam Russell. Pam, welcome to the show. And this starts your what season, or you're finishing your what season number?
Number 26.
And so when you look at 26 years of coaching, this probably has to be the most different season that you've ever had.
It is. 94 is when I started, and obviously the whole world's a little different this year with the way everything's going, and trying to plan a senior night, but we can't have as many people as we normally do. Trying to let them walk across the field with the football team, but we just can't do it this year, so we're kind of having to adjust some of our yearly things that we do day in and day out.
You got a predominantly young team. You have 2 seniors, and how many freshmen and sophomores do you have currently?
I have 1 junior. We have 3 sophomores. Help me out, girls. 4 sophomores. And I have, we got the 2 seniors. 5 freshmen. Big class of underclassmen.
So predominantly, you've got a pretty young team that you've inquired for this year.
Yes.
So when you look at this year and the makeup of this year, how do you think the season has gone so far for you?
Well, we started with the ECC very shortly after we started tryouts, and we're new to the league, and so kind of not knowing what to expect. I had a senior that had a back issue from being rear-ended in a car accident, so we didn't have all of our guns going. But, you know, everybody kind of just stepped up and did what they need to do, and it was kind of a baseline. So we look back, last week we just finished our ECC post, and we looked back, and 50 strokes we were able to shave off of our score, and it gave us good enough for 3rd place, which we were very, very pleasantly happy with that.
Well, you ought to be, an improvement of that magnitude through the course of the season. That's something else. So you brought some players along with you, and so I'm going to talk with a few of those players right now, and I'll be back talking with you towards the end of the program.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Chase Lambert, and I'm a freshman.
So you're one of the freshmen on this young squad this year. So let me ask you this question. How did you get started in the game of golf?
Well, my whole family, they're into golf, and they were like, well, if you want to do it, you can. I was like, well, why not try? It's my freshman year. Might as well try it. And I just started practicing, and I fell in love with it.
So if you've seen a lot of improvement in your game, and what has improved the most in your game, do you think?
I would probably have to say my putting, because I usually get the most strokes with my putting, but it's really cut back.
So looking at this season and being your first year on the varsity level, what's the most memorable moment that you've had?
Probably on a par 3, I got my first birdie.
Well, that's got to be exciting for you. Was it here at Harmon?
Yeah.
On which hole?
Hole 3.
That's a tough hole to get a birdie on, because you got that green that goes southward a little bit. Well, good luck to you the remainder of the golf season, and we're looking for good things for you in the future.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Riley Johnson. I'm class of 2024.
Okay, Riley, you're another one of the younger golfers. And how did you get started in this game?
Well, my dad works in the golf industry, so he introduced me when I was young, and then same with my grandpa. He introduced me.
I believe your dad is also the head boys golf coach here,
yeah,
correct?
He is.
Yes, he is.
So I've grown up playing with the varsity
so
boys as
well. That's kind of golfing is kind of in your blood. So
yes.
you got no other alternative but to play the game of golf.
No, probably no.
But you do another sport as well that's a little bit different, because we're kind of sharing you with that. Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
I'm on the freshman cheer team as well. So that I've always been in the competitive cheer world, but golf has always been one of my favorite sports. And when people ask me what sports I play, I say cheer and golf, but they're always, oh, well, isn't cheer more important? I'm like, no, golf is number one. It always will be, always has been. So.
But you still got the competitive juices in both of those sports.
Yes.
So looking at your game, what do you think has been your most improvement this year?
Probably my putting and my driver. I've definitely felt more confident in both of those this year.
On this course here, particularly, you got to stay in the fairway. You know, some courses you can get off a little bit. This one here, you got to have some accuracy with your driver. Do you use your driver a lot on Harmon's course, or do you change it up?
Most of the time, because most of the time with my driver, I can almost drive the green, so that's always good when it comes to the game of golf. Lots of birdies in those opportunities.
Well, that's what you need, lots of birdies.
Yes.
What's your most memorable moment this year?
Probably getting to play with our senior. I've gotten to play with her all year, Grace. That has been really fun.
That's good to have those bonds, and those are lifelong bonds that you'll remember forever.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you the remainder of the season.
Thank you.
My name is Lindsay Donahue, and I'm in the class of 2024.
You are another one of the younger golfers.
Yeah.
And when did you get started in the game, and who got you started?
The first time I ever swung a club when I was around 8 years old, and my dad just played, and not seriously or anything, and I was just interested.
So you picked it up and you've taken off with it very well, because
yeah.
I've watched you really improve your game this season. What do you think is the most improvement that you've had this year?
I think my putting, because I've definitely spent a lot more time practicing and learning different drills. So
you take me through, for instance, like a putting drill compared to maybe out on the course using your irons. What kind of drills do you do to incorporate in your putting?
Sometimes with like putting, you can put 2 tees behind like in your putting stroke to make sure I keep my putter straight and that my putt is going where I want.
So you look at that putting. That is, a lot of people don't realize that is maybe the most important part of your golf game. So what is your most memorable moment this year?
Probably getting my first birdie in a tournament at Walden on a par 5.
Oh, on a par at Walden, that's pretty tough to do.
Yeah.
So you will be going back there playing, I believe, in the sectional coming up, so maybe you can come up with a couple more birdies that day.
Hopefully
so. Well, good luck to you the remainder of the golf season.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anna Spar, and I'm a freshman.
So you are another one of the younger ladies on this golf team, and I tell you what, of the young women on this golf team, you guys have really improved your game a lot. What do you think has been your improvement in this game?
Probably my drives.
And so when you say your drive, is the accuracy, or is it the distance you think is probably the most, or both?
Well, I think they've gotten a little bit farther, and I've been more accurate.
You pretty much have to be accurate off the tee if you're gonna score, especially if you're here at Harmon. You have to do that. Mm-hmm. What kind of things do you incorporate into your practice, especially when you're out with your driver? Are there certain things that you work on, certain ways that you hold the club, follow through? What are some of the things that you work on?
Well, I really try to get my hands up, because like when I hit it bad, I'm usually getting my hands back, and so when I get them up, I hit it better.
And you probably create a little bit more distance when you do that.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite and most memorable moment that you've had this year?
I've had 3 birdies.
Whoa, 3. Well, that's pretty good. Maybe you can get a couple more tomorrow night, and maybe a few more next week in the sectional. Mm. Well, good luck to you the remainder of the season.
Thank you.
My name is Jessica Dilhoff, and I'm a sophomore.
So you are a sophomore, but you are a 2-year varsity letter, because you played last year and earned a varsity letter. So I'm going to ask you this question. Improvement from last year to this year, what is it?
Definitely putting, because obviously I've improved on all areas, but putting is just one where strokes really add up. So I've gotten to practice a lot on that and just improved.
Do you think how many strokes do you know right offhand that you've cut off from last year's score?
Like on each hole.
Just total.
I'm not really sure.
But I think looking at your scores, I think you've made some improvement in that area. So when you look at this year, and you look at compared to last year, what do you think stands out the most for the team as an improvement?
I say just numbers of people, because we have more people, we're able to build the team more for like the future team as well as just where we are now.
Well, the future looks pretty bright because you've got an awful lot of young people coming along, and next year you'll be one of the oldest ones on the group, so you'll have to take over that leadership role a little bit. What's your most memorable moment?
I actually chipped one in this year, so that was pretty exciting.
That is exciting. Here at Harmon?
No, it was at Friendly Meadows.
Okay, all right. So that's one of the newer courses that we played on in the ECC. Well, good luck to you the remainder of the season.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jordan Buckley. I'm a senior.
And Jordan, when did you get started in golfing?
I got started this June in golfing, so this is my first year.
Yeah, and we've talked about, too bad you're not a senior, too bad you're a sophomore or junior instead of a senior, but that's just the way it is. But what do you think has been the most improvement in your game?
I would say my swing has gotten much more improvement. I'm now hitting it farther than how I was at the beginning of the season. So.
Yeah, I can attest to that because when you first started out, it was a progress for you, and you've made tremendous progress with your swing and the whole phases of your game. What do you think is the most important part of your game? What do you think that you think is the best part of your game?
I would say the best part is chipping. I'm pretty good at chipping. It's usually a given for me. So.
And I'm going to ask you this because I know the answer. What do you think you need the most improvement on?
I need the most improvement on putting.
Exactly, because that's what you said to me yesterday after the match. You come up to me and say, "Coach, I got putt tomorrow in practice. That's all I'm going to do is putt." And I said, "Well, we'll do some putting, but you'll do some other things." What's your most memorable moment this year?
My most memorable moment is Friendly Meadows playing with Chase Lambert. It was a lot of fun, and we talked the entire time. So I've made really good friends on this team, and I would say that's probably the most memorable moment is how many friends that I've made on this team.
That's good, because those are the things that you're going to remember for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And aspirations, plans for the future after next year?
I don't really know with this whole coronavirus thing going on right now. I'm going to see about in March if maybe going to college, maybe taking a gap year, but we really don't know yet.
And we talked about what was your major going to be in college if and when you get there?
I am going to be in education, more than likely early childhood education.
Good career, good career. Well, we want to thank you for this season and being a part of it, being a senior. Tomorrow night's senior night. Hope you enjoy that and have a great round of golf, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Grace Swartz and I'm a senior.
Grace is not only a senior, I believe you are a four-year varsity. Four-year varsity. That's something to be proud of, because there's not many people in any sport that can say, I'm a four-year letter winner. And for you, that's been great. And so take us through this year. I know you've been plagued with a little bit of injury, but outside of that, I truly believe that this year has been a solid year for you and for the team.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not gone as good as I would hope just because of my injury, but it's been nice playing with a lot of the freshmen too, getting to know everybody, and I think we've improved a lot this season, me as well. So.
Yeah, I think so, because you take 50 strokes off of the the league, and that's a large number of strokes. Mm-hmm. But I think you make an important point here, you know, it's not all about the game of golf, it's about the relationships you've built. And I think you've been a true leader in helping build the relationships this year with these young girls.
Well, I hope so.
I think you have. I can attest to that. I really do. Let me ask you this question. You know, we were in a G-Walk. You were in a G-Walk for 3 years. Got very familiar with all the courses, and boom, you go to the ECC.
Yes.
How does that change your mentality of going to some courses you've not seen?
Well, it was definitely interesting playing against some different teams, but it was nice to play some new courses, and I love Walden Ponds, so.
Well, you're going to get to go back there.
Yes, pretty soon.
What of the new courses? Which one was the most difficult?
I played the worst at Friendly Meadows.
Okay.
It was a short course, but it was tight. So
you had to use probably different clubs that you're not used to using.
Yeah.
So, well, future for you. What are your plans after graduation?
Well, I want to be a physician's assistant, so hopefully I'll major in human health sciences, and I'm just waiting on my ACT scores to see where I end up going.
Any particular place you'd like to go?
UK is probably my top choice right now, but we'll see.
That is a good school.
Yeah.
You would enjoy it there. Well, Grace, I want to really thank you for all the time and effort you put in for 4 years at Lebanon, and we wish nothing but the best for you.
Well, thank you.
So Pam, as you said at the beginning of the show, the season's winding down. It's been a different season for you, but tomorrow night, senior night, always kind of an emotional night for everybody. And then tell the people where we're going to be playing the tournament and who we will be paired with.
Okay, we had a Zoom call on Sunday, which was the ECC people getting together along with anybody that goes south in that sectional tournament. And so we picked where we wanted to go, which we had a choice of Hamilton Elks or Walden Ponds, and my girls adamantly Walden Ponds all the way. So that was easy. And then we start teeing off at 9:50, which is the latest time in the morning. Girls maybe aren't morning girls, so that gives them a little extra chance to sleep in and be ready to roll. And so we will be at Walden Ponds that morning, and we play with Goshen, and we play with, oh my gosh, who do we play with? I just went blank. But anyway, Harrison, my bad, Harrison. So 2 new teams that we're not familiar with. So, you know, it'll be kind of nice getting some new, making some new friends along the way with the girls. I'll take the top 5 averages, and that's kind of how we base on who goes to sectional.
If you were looking at a grade as we close out the show, going to the ECC, what type of grade, A through F, what kind of grade would you give this golf team this year with everything that's gone on with
Oh my gosh. Well, I would say with the unknown times that we've dealt with and the fact that golf was approved first before anything else, I feel like it's got to be an A. And I don't base that on necessarily wins and losses. I just feel like, you know, we've done everything we can do to keep ourselves as safe as possible, and then the people playing with us. And it's definitely different. I mean, we look at the season for tomorrow night. We have our senior year, and senior night, I'm sorry. And I don't know, we've just had to come up with different ways. I've talked to some of the parents and tried to get ideas to have the best safety, you know, meal that we have the way we used to do it. We couldn't do it that way this year. So I feel like given the situation, you know, it definitely deserves an A. And the camaraderie with the team, and the girls, and the attitudes, it's really been a pleasure this year.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I would probably definitely give you that same grade. Well, best of luck to you tomorrow night. Best of luck to you in the tournament, and nothing but the best the rest of this season.
Thank you.
We'll have more with the City Show right after this break.
Bob Pulte Chevrolet always gives you the best. Best price guaranteed. Best trade-in value. Best selection. Best financing on all new and pre-owned vehicles. See for yourself at bobpulte.com. And you'll love the Pulte price.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back to the City Show. 9 different teams participate in sports during the fall. Here's a look at some of the other activities with these teams.
We brought back a lot of experience from last year. We really only lost one starter from last year, who was our libero, who was playing college volleyball up at Otterbein University. So we brought back a lot of experience and brought in some new talent as well that's really made our team gel this year.
Okay, 11-2 record, that's wonderful considering everything that you've been going through with the virus and everything else. How did coronavirus affect the start of your season?
It actually affected us a lot in the off season. We were doing a very rigorous strength training program prior to COVID starting, and then we kind of had to take a break from the middle of March through June in order for things to get opened up back. And so that's really been the impact for us. As far as our matches, we had to change one match just because of CPS not allowing schools to play until September 14th. So we did have to make a change to one of our matches. But otherwise, the big change for us was really the off-season program, as we were building a lot of strength throughout that spring season, and it just got cut a little bit short.
New league this year, how is that?
Top to bottom, I think it's stronger than the previous league we were in. There's a lot of talent. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day, and it's really challenged our kids. It's one of the reasons why I bolstered our schedule with some of the top teams in the city to get us ready for conference play as we started.
So talk about those teams that you bolstered the schedule with. It's St. Ursula, who else?
Ursuline, Mercy McCauley, CHCA, and Mason. So we have 5 of the top teams in the city of Cincinnati in our non-conference schedule. And that's really what we tried to do. MND was the only one we didn't get, and we actually had a match scheduled with them, but had to change it for a contract they had to honor. But for me, it's a chance for us to go up against the best. We have all of those teams are ranked in the state, and it's the only way that I feel like we can prepare these kids as we get into tournament is to go against the best and see where we are and see how we stack up with some of the best teams in the city.
So why do you think you're undefeated in your conference?
The preparation that the kids put in prior to the season and the focus that they came in with. They had lofty goals after last year. They weren't satisfied with how the season ended, and knowing we were going into a conference really motivated the kids to work hard. We saw a lot of games. We've been working out at a CrossFit gym here in Lebanon with our trainer Brian Miller, and he's done a fantastic job getting the kids ready. We saw improvements in their verticals, in their weight training, just to get ready for the season. So the kids came in really motivated to be ready. And the preparation that we had, we played a lot of these teams in the conference last year, so we were able to get an understanding of what type of teams we were going to go against. So we were ready and prepared.
When you look at the stats for the league, you've got somebody in the top 5 in just about every category. That's got to be satisfying.
Yeah, we're a dynamic team. We have strength all over, and that's kind of what's led to our record right now being where it is we are consistent across the board, and we have playmakers everywhere. So we're not one dimensional all the time. We've got players that can step up when somebody's not doing well. We've got other players stepping up in their place. So we do a really good job of diversifying everything on the floor for us.
So you're about halfway through the season, maybe a little beyond that at this point. What do you've got coming up? It looks like a lot of home matches. Tell us about those. And
yeah, we do. We have a very tough match tomorrow night against Kings in the Boomerang Bowl, and I know they're going to be gunning for us. For us, it's been trying to embrace the kids for being the top of the conference. It's a hard thing to muster. My quote that I always tell to the kids is, it's easier to get to the top than it is to stay there. And they've really kind of embraced that. We knew we're going to get every team's best shot, and it's nice to start to have some home matches. We went through a 7-game stretch where we were on the road every night, and it was hard on us. And now to get to come home to play some really good teams to try to finish off the conference is really going to be good for us. We start off with at Kings tomorrow, but then after that we're home for Mason, we're home for West Claremont, and then we've got 3 more home matches next weekend, including Ursuline next Saturday, which will be a good one for us.
What are the rules for coming to watch them play?
Right now, we're limiting each student or each athlete to have 4 tickets per kid. So that can be for parents, grandparents, sometimes people use it for friends, but that's kind of the limit that we've had right now. We do have a pass list that, I've allowed to get some college coaches in here to watch some of our kids play. Some extra fans to come in. We're never near our capacity of the 15%, but it's been able to get a few more fans in here, and then we allow each visiting player to bring 2 as well.
Speaking of college coaches, do you have any college commits on your squad right now?
Yeah, we do. Our junior middle blocker, Lily Cropper, has committed just a couple weeks ago to North Carolina State. So she'll be playing in the ACC here once she graduates in 22, and looking forward to seeing that. I watched a couple ACC volleyball matches over the weekend, so it'll be nice to see her playing on that level here in a couple years.
Yeah. Tournaments on the horizon. Does ECC have any kind of end-of-season tournament?
They don't, and I think the hardest part for us coming into the tournament is we're in the Dayton district. So when the draw happens on October 11th, we're going to be going against the Dayton schools when it comes into sectionals. So we won't have played any of the teams we're going to see, versus last year we got to see all those teams. So that's going to be kind of the hardest part for us in our conference, because the entire conference we have here plays in the Cincinnati regional, and we've got to go play in Dayton. So that's a challenge for us to get to know teams that we haven't seen all year.
Right, but those are the usual suspects, right? Springboro, Centerville,
Beaver Creek.
Yeah. How's the feeder system here? I mean, are there clubs for these kids to play on and opportunities to really get started early?
Yeah, we're trying to build a lot of that here, and there's actually some great families within the district that are doing some great things. There's a gym down the street in Mason, just off of 741, that has we have a family that's running a 3rd and 4th grade and a 5th and 6th grade league and practices to try to build up the even younger kids, because that's the hardest part for public schools, is there's not sanctioned volleyball until you get into the 7th and 8th grade. So you've got to kind of do it on the outside, and to have families that are willing to put in the time to help build the younger kids is great to see. So we want to keep having an active role in our youth as well. We're supposed to have our 7th and 8th grade teams come over for a youth night on Thursday against West Claremont. So hopefully trying to get them involved with the high school kids, that's ultimately our future.
Okay, so we're going to meet the team next. Give me an overview of your team and what you like about them and maybe what you don't.
What I like about them is they have really embraced the change of culture that we're trying to establish here. I told them from the get-go I'm about us playing the best. I want to compete against the best, and they've really embraced that. They work hard. They work hard on and off the floor. There are a lot of great kids, a lot of great student athletes in the gym, and they know what kind of expectations I have for them, and they embrace it. They have lofty goals. We've done team goals, and they really want to change what's kind of happened in the past here at Lebanon and really establish themselves as leaving a legacy with when they come out of the gym. I really don't have anything that I could say negative about the team, and there's always opportunities for us to continue to grow. But as a group, they get along well, they work well together, and that's really been a key to our success this year.
My name's Jenna Blinkowitz. I'm a junior and a right side.
Okay, what's a right side do?
A right side is a hitter on the right side of the net, and you also block.
Okay, how long have you played volleyball?
I've played volleyball since 7th grade.
What do you like about the sport?
I like the team aspect of it, like working with the team and getting to do what you love every day.
My name is Lily Bolin. I'm a setter, and I'm a freshman at Lebanon High School. You touch the ball every single play, so you always have to be on your toes and ready.
Okay. What do you do to be ready to touch the ball? I mean, do you do a lot of running? What kind of exercise do you do?
Yeah, setting involves a lot of running, but our passers are pretty good, so we don't have to run a lot.
I'm Gracie Spatz. I'm a junior and I'm a DS.
A DS, that's a defensive specialist.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means you pass the ball.
Why that position versus any of the other ones on the team? Why do you like that?
Well, mainly because my height, can't really be a hitter. And then because it's really cool when you get a really hard hit up and dig it, and it's a perfect pass. And I really like serve receive too.
My name's Anna Bednaz. I'm a senior and I'm a libero.
Okay. Now, Anna, I saw your name in the stats for the league for digs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain a dig.
It's basically when a hitter swings over the net and you just pass it up to the setter.
Okay. Another person that has to run around a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What attracted you to that position?
I'm short, so I wouldn't be a hitter or really a setter, and just defense gives you a lot of opportunities.
My name is Isabel Sloan. I'm a junior and I'm a DS.
What got you started? Who got you started?
My parents, they're both involved with the sport like long before I was born, so naturally I just went into it as well.
Is volleyball a big commitment on your time? I mean, over the course of a year?
Yes, especially like during the school year, because you have practice after school every day, and so you really have to balance your work and then your practice.
My name's Sam Feldman. I'm a junior and I'm a right side hitter.
How did you end up on the right side?
Well, during club a while ago I played middle, and then my coach wanted me to play left because she thought I'd be good at it. And then I've just been going wherever I could play now, so I wanted to try right side. It's different than what I've done before.
Hi, I'm Nina Miranda. I'm a sophomore and I'm outside hitter.
What are the responsibilities of an outside hitter on defense?
So we actually do play defense outside. We have to be on like the 10-foot line, so we're very involved in defense while we're still playing. We get set a lot of balls because we're the option if we don't get a great pass. So.
Are you there to block, or are you there to
Yeah, both.
receive?
So you can block when their right side is hitting, you block.
I'm Emery Spiller. I'm a senior and I'm a setter.
What do you like about that role?
I like being a leader and like my team looking up to me and like motivating everyone.
How have you enjoyed the past couple of years playing here?
It's been really fun. I've loved every second of it.
I'm Elena DeMichael. I am a middle hitter and I'm a junior in high school.
What is the responsibility of a middle hitter? Because it's a little different.
So we're in the middle, we're in the middle of the net area. So for blocking, we have to go from each side. So it's a lot of work going each side. And then for hitting, we have a lot of spots to hit at. We have more options to hit to, more than the right side or outsides have. So yeah.
Is there a way that you like to hit the ball that more so that you like to go right as opposed to left, or
does it depend? It depends on where I'm at on the court. I can go behind the setter and hit a slide or a fast, or if I'm in the middle of the court, I can hit different sets too. I can go to the right and then the left. So I prefer a fast or a ball that goes to the left, which is called a saw.
Hi, I'm Macy White. I'm a senior and I'm a defensive specialist.
How do you interpret your job as a defensive specialist? What do you need to do?
I think for me, it's just like always working as hard as I can, like getting balls up when I can, and just being everywhere for my teammates is probably my role as a DS.
How do you prepare for, what are you watching as the point progresses and you see their spike coming? How do you read all that?
Okay, so normally I watch where the set's going first, and I can kind of like read off my line. So like if I play middle back and I know it's going to the outside, I'm gonna want to like stand on that line and be ready to pass it. But it also depends on like where the hitter is like hitting from. So like the angle of the shoulder is really important for me as well.
Do you know your opponents well enough these days that you know their tendencies before you play against them?
Yes, especially because we have film to watch now. So normally I watch the tendencies of them like before a game if we've already played them. I think that's really helpful actually to have that technology available.
Hi, I'm Lily. I am a junior middle.
Okay. So we just talked to a middle. You've committed already to North Carolina State.
Yes.
I mean, that's wonderful. How did you make that connection?
Well, my coach, Michael, actually had a connection with the assistant coach there, and I was able to build a relationship with her and the head coach over a period of time, and I just decided that that's where I want to be, and that's where I want to go to college and play volleyball. And so it ended up being a huge blessing, and I'm really excited.
What attracted you to that school?
I think what attracted me a lot is the conference. I think the ACC is it's a really big conference, and it's also great travel and everything. And I know it's a research school too, and so it has amazing academics, and North Carolina is a beautiful state too. And so I'm really excited to meet the girls as well. I've already met some of them, and I really like them, and I really like the coaches as well.
Okay. What about your experience here at Lebanon helped make it possible for you to get an offer to NC State?
Yeah, so I feel like my experience here at Lebanon, I mean, Michael and Susie, my coaches, have done a great job training me over the past couple of years, and I feel like just my relationship with Michael has made it so easy through my recruiting process just to have these connections with coaches, and also just the coaching I'm getting in general. Like, I would not be in this position if I wasn't being trained by these coaches. So.
Okay. Is your father going to get a pilot's license or something to be able to follow you?
I feel like I should tell him to do that, but yeah. Yep.
Okay. You've still got a full year of school here left. Mm-hmm. So what are you hoping to accomplish between now and the end of next year?
Well, I'm hoping to just really continue to make an impact with the team, helping our team to just go further and further in the tournament this year and then next year even further. And I'm also looking to help build culture here too, because something that I just have really enjoyed here at Lebanon is how connected we are, and I think just being a positive influence to the younger age groups and trying to bring up a good culture is really going to be the future of our program. And so I'm hoping to just really be a good influence on the girls coming up.
Caitlin Pott. I'm a junior and I'm a defensive specialist.
All right. How long have you been playing volleyball?
Since 5th grade, so 7 years.
Who got you started? Who got you started with volleyball?
My older sister has played her whole life, so I just grew up playing volleyball with her.
Okay. What do you like about the sport?
I like how fast it is and how competitive the sport is.
I'm Maya White. I'm a freshman outside hitter.
Okay. So you're the new kid. How did you like coming into this program?
I was definitely nervous, but I was really excited to already have known Nina and the coaches and just be a part of this culture. I was really looking forward to.
How did you get introduced to the program before you?
So I play club volleyball, and in my 13th and 14th years, I was on Susie and Michael's teams. I think everyone here really supports each other, and I think everyone is very close, and I think that's really important to have a good year. A big part of being successful is I have a really good back row who will help call my shot for me if I don't see the block right away, and that is probably the reason I am where I am, because then I know where I can go, and it's so nice to have.
Hey, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining. We'll see you again real soon.